On this episode of the Layover Live, our first and only DMO guest returns.
No, you've already done that.
Oh. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 102 of the Layover Live, where we bring you the top article from the layover each week. I'm Jason Swick, VP of Digital Marketing, and got some big news today. So, we kind of goofed around with the intro a little bit, but Katie Cook is now part of the Simpleview family and the team. She's joining us as a digital strategist, which is why she's here today. Super happy to have you here.
Excited to be here.
Yes, you've hopped the wall, come over to this side of the force, right?
Yes.
Go to bad side, I'm not going to say, but we're happy to have you here.
Great to be
And
here.
our article this week is talking about digital marketing tips. It's a really, really, really good article that comes from AdAge, which talks about some things we should be thinking about in 2020. So let's just get right into it. What is this article even talking about, Katie?
Yeah. So AdAge is actually giving 4 tips for areas to consider implementing in 2020. So kind of thinking ahead for the year. The areas include making content for global audiences and the importance of that. Creating and using video to support, encourage travel decisions in this case. Encouraging both automation and personalization, which are all obviously areas that DMOs should consider.
Yeah, absolutely. Really big tips. It kind of pulls off of some of the stuff that we've been talking about, even with Marissa, like last week, right? We talked about strategies and now talking about these tips and kind of bringing it out of the sky a little bit and putting it into something more practical. Now, we've been hearing a lot about video for a while now, so I want to talk about that because these are all really relevant areas for DMOs, but definitely video is something relevant. So what are some of the platforms that DMOs should consider then when they're talking about 2020 marketing with video?
Yeah, as the article states, people don't follow a linear path when it comes to purchasing or a product or booking a trip. There's a number of touch points where a potential visitor could be inspired and does research before booking a trip.
Yep, absolutely.
So, obviously video plays into that. YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook, Instagram, they've been around a while, and they've been part of everyone's kind of like back pocket to really inspire people to travel to their destinations. TikTok, we're hearing about that. It's kind of new to the game, but at this point, I feel like it's one to watch for DMOs, especially if you have a younger visitor kind of market. But we know video, even short 6-second video, is really very integral to inspiring and creating engagement with the visitor.
Yeah, absolutely.
No matter the platform.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. Like, I agree with you. Video's been something around for a while. It's really one of the best ways to market a destination, as you know. Personally, I still think there's a lot of runway left, right? It seems like DMOs, I still feel like are just scratching the surface with video. Some are doing it really well. Some are still barely doing it or not even doing it at all, which is just mind-blowing to me. So there's a little bit in between, but there's all these different platforms now more than ever. TikTok is interesting because we're hearing a lot more about that. I still think, similar to you, I think letting that play out a little bit more and kind of seeing what happens there before we go into that. Still very much for a younger audience, but I think there can be some strategies that come about. I think that platform, at least as it sits at this moment, probably like to see a little bit more evolution before I dump money into that at the expense of not putting it into Facebook or YouTube or those things. If you've got those areas covered and you're doing well, they should be considering TikTok. But for the most part, get the fundamentals covered first, right? So now, in addition to video, it also talks about getting into like automation and personalization, and those are things that are big as well. So what are some of the ways that DMOs should consider using those type of tactics moving forward?
Well, I think just starting creating some personas is really important, and you can then implement those personas across different marketing platforms and channels. And I think marketing automation is still so new that we're all still learning about. But with like platforms like Acton, you can really deliver that personalized information to your opt-in lists, and then over time really learn from those and refine your content. Both to those email subscribers, but also throughout your website and other channels. You're really using that to learn and build on your personas.
Yeah, I think it's good stuff. And again, this is not like anything that's crazy groundbreaking, but these are things to really start to hone in and focus on now, right? Video is nothing new. Personalization, automation, it's getting those things to work cohesively and to help you reach your marketing goals for 2020 is really good. So thanks for stopping by and sharing that. It's a really good article from AdAge. They have some great tips in there, more comprehensive look, dig into it. It's really, really good. And again, additionally, last week, some really good tips as well for strategy. So start to play into that. So thank you for stopping by. So happy again to have you here. Excited for the team, excited for our clients out there to be working with you. Thanks for tuning in each and every week. If you're not subscribed, please do so now. Also, if you want to listen to us on podcasts, we're available through Spotify as well as through iTunes. So thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time, and have a great week.